What team was the easiest to play this year?
Ooh. Which team was the easiest to play against? Oh boy. Oh, Vladdy wants to answer that?
The Yankees.
The Yankees!
Really quick, if you enjoy the content, become part of the 30% of viewers who are subscribed to the channel. Thank you. Now, if you saw this video out of context and you know nothing about Blue Jays superstar Vladimir Guerrero or anything else he's ever said, you would think this was just a harmless, fun little jab at the Yankees by Vladdy Jr. because of a fun little question from a little kid at a Blue Jays fan event. But oh no, it is much deeper than that. Back in November of 2022, Vladdy told a radio host that he loves to play in New York because he loves to kill the Yankees, going on to say that he would never sign with the Yankees, not even dead. Vladdy Sr., Vladdy Jr.'s dad and Hall of Famer, was asked about his son's comments about never wanting to sign with the Yankees, and he actually didn't want his son to make those comments, saying that he told him not to say that because he doesn't know if the Yankees are the team that is going to give him the most money. So, in other words, maybe don't criticize a team that could potentially give you the bag when you enter the free agent market. But Vladdy Jr. is back at it, once again making his disdain known for the Yankees to the whole world. Before the first game between the Yankees and Blue Jays in 2023, Vladdy Jr. reiterated his hate for the opposition and doubled down on his comments that he would never sign with the Yankees in his life, saying to reporters, quote unquote, "It goes back with my family. That's my decision and I will never change that." So that's interesting, as he's obviously alluding to something prior in his life that happened more personally, perhaps something that happened to his Hall of Fame father, and after looking into it, that may be exactly what it's about. Vladimir Guerrero Sr. had an incredible first 7 seasons of his career with the Montreal Expos, going on to become a free agent after the 2003 season. He of course had plenty of interest and was going to get a ton of money, that was clear. What wasn't clear was what team he would end up with, but in January of 2004, it looked like the Vladdy sweepstakes were over, as he apparently had an agreement with Yankees general manager Brian Cashman to sign with them before owner George Steinbrenner made the decision to pass up on Vladdy Sr. and sign Gary Sheffield instead. Now, Gary Sheffield was incredible and ended up having a really good 3-year tenure in New York, but it's still a little weird when you look back at it. Vladdy Sr. was 29 years old at the time, whereas Sheffield was 35. Now, don't get it wrong, they're both great players and both worked out for their respective teams, as Vladdy Sr. would opt to sign with the Angels over in Anaheim and only continued his success there. In fact, in his very first year in Anaheim after signing with them rather than the Yankees because of Steinbrenner, Vladdy Sr. went on to win the American League MVP award, and who finished second in the voting? Gary Sheffield. Pretty ironic, but again, it all kind of worked out in the end for both players who finished with great careers. But maybe Steinbrenner's decision to choose Sheffield over Vladdy Sr. impacted the Hall of Famer more than we think. Maybe he's really hammered that anti-Yankee rhetoric into his son over the years, and that all has led to those comments by Vladdy Jr. in recent times. Whatever the case, a few things have become clear. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hates the Yankees, he hits well against them, and Yankees fans hate him for it. In the first matchups between the Blue Jays and Yankees this past weekend taking place at Yankee Stadium, Vladdy Jr. went off. In his literal first at-bat since all the comments he had been making against New York, he'd go deep for a 2-run shot off of Domingo Germán. In his fourth at-bat, he'd chop 1 1/3 for an infield single, and after coming up for the 5th time, things got a little heated. After getting hit by a pitch, Vladdy Jr. started staring down the pitcher before Anthony Rizzo, who was over at first base, started to yell at Vladdy. The two had some words for each other, nothing was that crazy and the benches didn't clear, but it's becoming clear that these two teams really don't like each other, and Vladdy Jr. of course only helps with this rivalry. The Blue Jays went on to win the game, and although they did lose the second game, that didn't stop Vladdy from doing some damage at the plate, smoking a first-inning double off of Garrett Cole and walked in the 6th inning before the Yankees would rally to walk it off in the 9th inning after the Blue Jays tied it. On Sunday, Clark Schmidt took the mound for the Yankees, and he was dealing all the way into the 6th inning. That is until Vladdy Jr. said no more, lining a 2-run shot over the left field wall to give the Jays a 2-0 lead in a game they'd go on to win 5-1. Leaving the Bronx with a series W. In his career against the Yankees, Vladdy Jr. is now hitting almost 300 with 15 home runs, 15 doubles, and an OPS around 900. The man is a menace against the Yankees, and against anybody, really, but he especially dials it up for the Yankees. He kills them, he hates them, and the fans most certainly hate him back.
This is the loudest booing we